Hey everybody. We are in 1 Samuel and we're getting into some really fun stories now. If you get a chance, read through 1 Samuel. I mean, it's a story, and it's a really exciting story. There's lots of stuff going on there. Kings, intrigue. I mean, it's just everything. And so it's really a great book to spend some time in, 1 Samuel. Today we're going to be looking at this is maybe one of the most famous Bible passages where David defeats Goliath, and he does so with a sling. This is you would have a rock and a sling, and you would have whipped it around and let it go. And he probably got really good at this when he was a shepherd. I mean, what else is there to do? You're watching the sheep. You take a rock, you spin it around, and so he comes before the king. Nobody else is able to defeat this Goliath. And at this time, they had a thing to save armies. They would each side would pick a person to go to battle, and whichever person won the war. So it was much better as far as losing people. And so they've put up Philistines have put up Samson. No, not Samson. Sorry, Goliath, big, huge guy, and so nobody in the Israelite community wants to go up against this huge guy. But David comes in, and this is from 1 Samuel 17, starting at verse 37. The Lord, who rescued me from the claws of the lion and the bear, will rescue me from this Philistine. Saul finally consented. All right, go ahead, he said, and may the Lord be with you. Then Saul gave David his own armor, a bronze helmet, a coat of mail. David put it on, strapped the sword over it. It took a step or two to see what it was like, for he had never worn such things before. I can't go in these, he protested to Saul. I'm not used to them. So David took them off again. He picked up 5 smooth stones from a stream and put them into a shepherd's bag, and then, armed only with his shepherd's staff and a sling, he started across the valley to fight the Philistine. So, here is this kid. I can't believe the nation was willing to put their hopes in this one kid, but he was real confident in the Lord. And you can just see this is a real funny scene where he puts on this heavy armor, and he's just a little kid. He can barely move, but that's not going to work. So he gets rid of all of that and just takes a sling and some smooth rocks. And this is the way God works. I just heard a sermon from a friend who talked about how God works in opposites of what we would work. We think armor and military power is really great, but God sends a little kid with some smooth stones and a sling, and the rest of this story. He takes one shot and hits him right in the temple, and he falls over dead, and wins. And that's a wonderful story, a fun story in the Bible. But this is the way God works. And if you look in the New Testament, we talk about Jesus relating to the Old Testament, and we look at Matthew 26. This is Jesus talking right toward before he gets arrested. And Jesus says, "Put away your sword," Jesus told them. "Those who use the sword will die by the sword. Don't you realize that I could ask my Father for thousands of angels to protect us, and he would send them instantly? But if I did, how would the scriptures be fulfilled and describe what must happen now?" And then Jesus said to the crowd, "Am I some dangerous revolutionary that you should come with swords and clubs to arrest me? Why didn't you arrest me in the temple? I was there teaching every day. But this is all happening to fulfill the words of the prophets as recorded in the scriptures." At this point, it says the disciples all fled. So I just want to talk about that just for a second for your daily life. If God comes in opposites from what we expect, both with a little kid with a sling and a rock, and Jesus who could call down armies of angels, but instead went to the cross to die for us. It might be good for you to think about that in your daily life, that if God comes in opposites, probably the things that you don't think have anything to do with God probably do, or may. And those things that you say, boy, that's God, that's for sure God, may not be God at all. So it's important to think about opposites, that God is working completely opposite of the way we would work in our lives. And what seems like a tragedy to us may actually be a blessing. What seems in our life to be fantastic and must be from God may not be from God at all. For one thing, God wants to, He gives us crosses, He gives us, He humbles us so that we depend more and more on God. If we had nothing but successes, there'd be no need to really depend on God much. So today, look for how God is moving in your life in an opposite way than what you would expect. And look for the little Davids in your life. Look for the crosses that Jesus was going to as being really amazing, helpful things in your life. So that would be a great thing to remember today. God works in opposites. God works where we don't expect Him to, and God works in ways that we would never expect God to work. That's the lesson for today. I hope you have a great day, and see you tomorrow. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. It would help if you would subscribe and like this video. Also, I just want to invite you to come and worship with us. If you've never worshiped before, come and worship online, and or come and see us in person. You can find all the information you need at our website, which is right below on the screen. God bless, and have a great day.